I've never been able to bore in with this saw in my life, a 310. You bore in, it's like this thing. Oh yeah, okay. I'm just gonna do a bore back here just for the heck of it. I cannot tell you how excited I am. This channel has its very first ported saw. It was a gift, and I thank you. What we've got here is a ported CS-310, and we have a stock CS-310. I've also got a modded muffler that I can bolt onto this stock CS-310. So what I want to do is I'm going to cut, and we're going to see what the difference is. I'm going to try to do it the best I can. I have a brand new chain for this saw. It's a 14-inch bar and chain. I'm going to move between here and here. And then we're also, for some baseline information, 545. My opinion is that if you have any serious amount of work to do as a landowner or anything, you should be looking at like at least a minimum 50cc pro saw, like an MS261, a 550 XP, or a 545, because those saws can do most any task that the average person needs or the average landowner needs. And so this right here is a good baseline, and I expect that this saw is faster than the ported saw, but let's just see where it goes, okay? Because everyone wants a loud, fast, light, hot rod small saw. I know I certainly do, and so let's get started. Man, look at this thing. It's a beauty. It's a beauty. Alrighty, this is a stock CS-310 Echo with a brand new chain on it. I've already run this. It should be warm. Now what I'm going to try to do is swap out this muffler for an opened up muffler. I'll try to tune it a little bit to see if I can get it to run as well as possible without removing the limiters. Let's see what will happen. So I've taken that stock saw with the new chain, and this has a muffler mod on it. This is a different muffler. I've never run this saw. I haven't even started it yet. So let's see what this does. I can tell you it feels more responsive. Let's try again. I'm now swapping the bar and chain over to the ported 310. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I have fired this saw, but never with a bar and chain on it. This saw, on a ported saw, it is critical that your carburetor, that you do not run any saw tooling. You do not want to run any saw tooling ever. Okay, but on a ported saw, you're pushing things. You know, I'd like to say, in my mind, it's kind of like, you know, how people will modify a Honda Civic or a Volkswagen Beetle. You know, you can take that engine for it to scream, but it ain't gonna scream for long. This is gonna be the first time I have ever cut with this saw. I don't know what to expect. Honestly, that 310 with the muffler mod did incredible. It opened it up a lot. Choke it. This has not been started today. Wow, one pull. Okay. And we took choke off. We'll let this warm up. I had another bar for my other one because I just want to run that. I'm going to make a couple more cuts here, and then I'm going to throw it back on that muffler modded stock 310. I want to see what the, oh my gosh, this is too fun. All right. I've never been able to bore in with this saw in my life, a 310. You bore in, it's like, this thing, oh man, okay. I'm just gonna do a bore back here just for the heck of it. For a second, I'm gonna grab the 545 just to see. Okay, now this saw has 20 cc's on that one. 20 cc's. All right. Let's do a slice here. This saw is definitely quicker, but this is a professional model 50C. This has 20 cc's over that. Okay, so we're gonna set this down, but that just gives you an idea. And okay, again, we had the CS-310 stock. Man, it feels like someone's holding their finger over the exhaust pipe, and it's like, it just feels like it's hitting a wall at like half throttle, to be honest with you. This porter, I'm gonna make another cut. I gotta make another cut. All right, here, let's do this. This starts better than my 545 or my 562. Gosh dang, that's all you got to put it on fast idle and all this nonsense. This one just, you know, it sat there for a little bit. I know for certain there are some people that say that you could lean this out a little bit more. That might be the case, but I'm going to tell you what. I want this saw to stay together because I absolutely love it. Oh my gosh, I don't know if I'm ever going to be able to cut with a stock 310 again. That is just ridiculous. This thing is ripping, in my opinion. Again, this is the first ported saw I've ever owned. Thank you so much. And this thing's sweet. I mean, well, dang it, this ruined me on stock saws, I think. That's a good thing, because I'll tell you guys what, here's a little secret. My CS-310 PW is actually out to a shop right now getting ported. I'm excited because I needed a little bit more out of a saw that size. If you can take a 30cc saw and make it run like this, man, I wonder what a ported 2511T is like in comparison, because that's about a similar size. It's lighter, I think a little less cc's, but this is incredible. I've got to cut again. I've got to cut again. Okay, all right, oh my gosh. You know what, hold on, again. Oh, gotta turn it on, that would help. All right, one more. Okay, I almost don't even want to put the bar and chain back on my other one, but we're gonna do it for science. Everybody, I'm afraid that this is how addictions are made. The difference is absolutely astonishing from stock to ported, without a doubt. There is, I mean, it is just mind-blowing, the difference there, okay? So what I'm doing right now is I'm swapping over my bar and chain back to the stock saw with a muffler mod. Okay, so here we go with this, and get this on here. Now I'm curious to see how much different it is to, I know it's huge from, it was huge from stock to muffler modded. We need to test the stock saw with the muffler mod, and admittedly this saw does have some sort of recently developed some sort of air leak or something that's making it idle. Maybe it's the clutch. It could actually just be the clutch. I don't know. We're gonna explore. And actually, anybody that knows, well, which is most of you know way more than me about this stuff. I've tinkered just enough to get my way through, understand some of the science behind it. I understand the carburation. I'm not necessarily this pro tuner. I always err on the side of caution in terms of high. I'm not looking to squeeze that last 100 RPM out. And also too, once that ported saw cools down, I'm going to pull the plug on it. I'm going to see what it's running like. I want to see if it's I want to see a little bit of a darker color. I'm hoping it's not ghost white, because then I have a lot to learn. If it's ghost white, I have a lot to learn. But my understanding is if the saw is pulling in the cut, and that saw was certainly pulling in the cut, that it should be about right. It didn't sound like it was screaming. It sounded like it did have a little bit of a four-stroke, a wide open throttle. So anyway, let's go ahead and start this guy up here. This is again the stock saw with a muffler mod. Okay, let's choke and believe, without looking at the footage, I believe this saw has way more torque than it did from stock. Okay, so essentially that muffler mod definitely is giving the saw strength. It does not have the RPM and the torque like the ported saw does. Again, that's a slightly different muffler on that, but this is a muffler modded saw. This is a stock saw with a muffler mod only. Let's go ahead and give it another cut. This doesn't make me scream for joy like that ported saw does. That ported saw has become an animal. I have never had a little saw in my hands like that, especially in this format, because I've owned this for 5 years. I've never been like, ooh, wow, this cut's great, this cut's fast. Once I ran a 372 clone saw or that 545, I was just like, this is a good reliable saw, but you don't see me use it very often because it's just is unimpressive. Now, this is more impressive for sure. I wasn't going to do this, but I'm going to because I have to, because it's just too fun. It's just simply too fun that I'm not going to mess this thing up. I ran this a little bit. This is the ported saw. I let it cool off just a hair. It's still warm, everybody. It's still warm. I want to look at the plug. I want to see what the plug looks like. Okay, here we go. Pop that loose. This has a Champion plug in it. Okay, so that right there, I personally am of the opinion, okay, I know that I'm saying, the way I'm going to read that, this is Okie Woodsman, semi-novice, professional homeowner. I don't know what I am. I just like chainsaws. But that's like a milky, a dark, like a milk chocolate brown, or I'm sorry, like a chocolate milk color. I believe that it could lean out a little bit further and get a little bit lighter. But I will tell you this, that is not, it might be running a little bit rich, but it is not running, I do not believe it's running too lean. Please weigh in, because I don't want to blow up this beautiful, beautiful saw that I've been gifted. So let me know. But I'm thinking that I'm in good shape here. So I'm going to go ahead and throw this back in there. Again, if you don't know this, if you're new to chainsaws, what I'm referring to is if the plug, if the saw is running very rich, that plug will be very dark, very black in color. It'll have a lot of carbon buildup on it. Okay, meaning that it's not burning as cleanly as it could or ought to. Then if it's too leaning, meaning you have too much air to fuel ratio, the saw will scream like a banshee. It'll have no torque hardly, and the saw is not getting enough lubrication. It's spinning too much RPMs, and that plug will be white. Well, that means that you have complete combustion. This is my interpretation. You have complete combustion, not enough fuel to lubricate it properly. It gets too hot, and you're gonna blow it up. You're gonna score it. It's gonna come apart. Something bad is gonna happen. You're introducing extra wear. For me, I want to err on the side of caution. A plug that's that color, to me, looks excellent. Maybe not the best for performance, but listen, I want a saw that's going to last. I'm not trying to cut off 1/10 of a second on a 30cc saw. I am pleased, well pleased. Let me tell you right now. So this is this gets the seal of approval from me for sure. I want to run this again. I absolutely want to run this again. So let's pop this. I'm not even gonna choke it. Let's see what happens here. Oh yeah. I may as well cut the whole rest of the log up. This is insane. Look at those knots. It's not even phasing it. Good night. Oh yeah, got it turned on. Yo, my mind is absolutely blown. Did you see? I just noodled this like a boss. I mean, look at this. This thing is cut in half. That was a 30cc saw with about 12 to 13 inches of bar buried long grain in pine, greenish pine. Okay, I cut this just a little bit ago. That is mind-blowing. If you're one of the people out there that says there's no purpose for a ported saw, I get it if you're talking about from, you know, if you're just needing to cut a little bit of cleanup here and there. But isn't the chase always about, I think oftentimes, why did you choose the saw that you did, right? Because maybe it had a little bit more power, it was a good value, it was a little lighter than the other one, right? There's always a reason why you picked what it was. And I believe a big part of that equation is how much power and how small of a package can you have. And this is not a saw for everybody. This is definitely not a saw for everybody. This requires a little bit of knowledge, but I will tell you what, there is so much potential in these engines. There's so much potential. And the person that built this, I know he probably doesn't think so, but I think this is brilliant. It is absolutely brilliant. I mean, I gotta start it again. I gotta start it again. Oh my gosh. Remember, this is a clamshell saw. Couldn't do much for, I don't think you can do much for compression and all that, if my understanding is correct. Thank you thank you. Thank you. Anybody watching this, man, this is an exciting day. This is a very exciting day. I feel so tremendously blessed. Thank you everyone for being here and commenting and supporting and sharing with other channels, saying, hey, check out this guy, because out of the reality is this, we all have something different to offer. I'm not a saw builder yet. I love mechanical things. I've torn apart engines before. I used to be into nitro RC cars. I get what's going on here, but at the same time, right now, I'm just trying to get content out there, and there's so many good saw builders out there. I want to tinker. I do want to tinker. In this point of my life, it's just not that time yet, because I've got a full-time job in this YouTube, which is another essentially full-time job. And so I've only got so much time. And again, everyone, thank you so much. This is such a phenomenal opportunity. I'm tremendously blessed. I am absolutely tremendously blessed to be here. And we're about to hit 4,500 subscribers. Man, dude, I have adrenaline. I want to just cut again. I just want to cut. I have the feeling that I did when I first ran into 372 and it was running well, and I just wanted to cut trees, and I realized, man, I'm going to run out eventually. But this saw right here is, I am going to work this saw. This is not going to be a cookie cutter. I am going to go and take this. I have a blown down oak that I need to address, and it's got a lot of limbs. And instead of that 545, I think I'm going to be using this guy right here. This is what I want to use, because it's even lighter. It's a smaller package. And I will tell you this, when I buy another bar and chain for a 310, this 14 is going onto the muffler modded saw, and a 16 is going onto here. It can easily pull it. Easily pull it with if you know what you're doing, right? If you know what you're doing, if you have the feel of the saw, this thing is incredible. I gotta start it again. If my 562 started like that, I would love it. Let's do this 545. It's been sitting for a little bit. We're gonna just go ahead and give it a tug. I'm not gonna put it on fast idle. Let's just see. It's been sitting for probably 20 minutes. Okay, it almost wanted to go. Let's try again. Okay. All right, let's put it on fast idle, give it a tug. Let me put some fuel in that carb. Hold on here. I done messed up the sequence because I didn't do what I was supposed to do. I think I messed it up. There we go. My 562 and my 545 need muffler mods. That's all it's to it. They need muffler mods. If that 310 woke up like it did with a muffler mod, I cannot imagine what this will do, and I cannot imagine what my 562 would do. It absolutely needs to happen. What's crazy is when you pick up, this always is like my lighter saw, but oh my gosh, when you pick this up, it is way more weight. Again, it's 50 more cc's, 20-inch bar versus a 14. But I mean, this saw here, I think I'm gonna find myself using it when this might be a little much, right? Oh my gosh, okay. Anyway, I'm out. Have a good one. Well, I made a lot of sawdust. I made a lot of cookies here. I mean, look at this pile. Mostly done with a 310. Who would have thought? Who would have thought? Who would have thought a 310 would pull like that? Man. I mean, let's be real. Who would have thought a 310 would pull like that? Mind is blown. Mind is blown. My mind is blown. Thank you. You know who you are. Sincerely, thank you.